Well, good evening. I promised you guys something on JP Morgan because I ran across something about a week ago that I found was interesting. But let's back up to the beginning, shall we? And we'll see how it all falls into pieces. Um, in '07 and '08, the Pentagon decides they're going to do a geological study of Afghanistan. Well, when they do this, um, they come to the determination that there's roughly $1 trillion worth of minerals in the ground in Afghanistan. Well, when that eventually did come out, and I'll tell you how it came out, but that was found out in roughly '07, '08. Well, this is J.P. Morgan in '08. They get 25 billion in TARP money. The same time, there's other banks that got it as well. Morgan Stanley got 10 billion. In '08, George Bush signs signs a document to get the troops withdrawn from Iraq. Okay, and you'll find out how that plays into this as well. Early in '09, J.P. Morgan is tapped by, well, this is how it was reported. I'm thinking they knew before this. They were tapped by Mr. Robert Gates. Everybody know who that guy is? Well, he taps him and says, hey, there's money to be made in Afghanistan. A lot of money to be made in Afghanistan. Now, you have to ask yourself if that's true, so that were they going to, J.P. Morgan and saying, hey, you guys owe us, go over to Afghanistan and see what you can do. Or did they know before that and they had no problem bailing J.P. Morgan out? You see what I'm saying? It's a possibility, and J.P. Morgan knew about it, but the way it was announced was that way. So, in early '09, J.P. Morgan sends his name is Ian Hanam. He's the CEO of J.P. Morgan at the time. They asked him to go over there and check things out and see what can be done. Well, this guy is ex-SAS, okay, British SAS, and he's like, look, there's too much war going on over there right now. There's no control. So, lo and behold, in July of '09, the troops start moving. Where are they moving to? Oh, they're moving to Afghanistan. And guess who joins them? More of them, I should say. British troops. Yeah. So they all start moving in May of '09. Well, sorry, that was July of '09. See, glasses. Anyway, May of '11 comes around, and there's a ribbon cutting ceremony. And guess who does the ribbon cutting ceremony, and what's it for? Well, the guy that does the ribbon cutting ceremony is Ian Hanam, J.P. Morgan. He's doing a ribbon cutting ceremony in Afghanistan for a mining operation. And how did he get there? Oh, four Black Hawk helicopters, all the troops and security he needed, four-wheel drive vehicles to get around, and armored four-wheel drive vehicles provided by you and me. Yeah. So he goes over for the ribbon cutting ceremony. Well, in December of '11, all of a sudden Afghanistan, out of nowhere, tells a whole bunch of potential investors, hey, look, we can offer you 100% security on these mining operations. 100%. That's what they said. You'll find out why. So, once this happens, this is when Hillary Clinton starts to push hard to get the Haqqani network blacklisted. Okay, this is when she started this. This is December 11. Okay. In the meantime, while all this is going on between then and July 12th, the Haqqani network is like causing all kinds of havoc. And where do they get their support from? It's believed that they get their support from Pakistan. And where does Pakistan get money from? They get it from the U.S., from you and me. Well, it's believed that they fund the Haqqani network because they're afraid of the Taliban, and they know, well, what they're thinking is that we're going to withdraw from Afghanistan, and they're going to have to be able to protect their interests, so they've been funding them. It's like their own private army, so to say. And the government knows it. Plain and simple. So basically, we're paying to have our own troops killed. Pretty cool, huh? So, let's say that we're going to roll all the way up to July 12 now. Mrs. Clinton announces non-NATO ally status to Afghanistan. Okay? And what does that mean? I looked it up. Non-NATO ally status basically means that their loans are expedited and exports are expedited. It makes it easier. This is the part you like. It makes it easier for them to finance and purchase U.S. defense equipment. Now, I got to asking myself, who else would have this kind of status? I looked it up. Other people that have this kind of status is Israel. Oh, no way. Egypt. No way. Australia. I don't really know about that one. New Zealand. And Japan. So all those people I just said to you, they're able, being at status they are, it makes it easier for them to purchase U.S. defense systems. Okay. Don't know how that. Yep. So as part of that, the new status for Afghanistan in July of 12, Afghanistan also said for their government to run, they're going to need $4 billion a year. Now, Afghan Central Bank says they're going to need over $4 billion a year. And they also said that they're going to need $4 billion a year for their security. Just throw that in there. And Mrs. Clinton is pushing for supporters for this. Now, I thought Mrs. Clinton was all about women's rights. I thought she was a leader for that, right? Well, in Afghanistan, women, if they go to court for anything, 10% of the time they go to a real court. 90% of the time they go to a tribal court where they basically have no rights at all whatsoever and get treated like trash. Literally like trash. So what do? We speak out against it. But no, we decide to go ahead and fund the tribal courts of $15 million a year. You paid for it, and I paid for it. And Mrs. Clinton is all about women's rights. Really? Okay. That kind of made me mad there, so I had to say something about that. So let's go to today. Well, guess who just got put on the blacklist, the terrorist list? You got it. The Haqqani network is now blacklisted, which will fall under executive orders now. But don't get me wrong, this whole time before then, they were drone striking them, the Haqqani network, they've been attacking them for these months. But today, they get blacklisted to freeze up their assets, and now they fall under executive orders. So let me ask you this. What is the real motivation here? Is it to get rid of the Haqqani network, or is it to provide protection for mining operations? I don't know. I'm just saying, go back and check all this stuff out. Everything I said on here, I looked up and I verified. But doesn't it seem awfully weird how all these things fall in line? And all these bankers are involved. The guy that runs the mining operation was buddies with Ian Hanam. And he was a ex-SAS British commander. Come on, man. Really? And if there's so much money sitting up there in Afghanistan, what the hell do they need all of our money for? What do they need it for? Where's the money at? Where's the $1 to $3 trillion that are in those hills? I mean, supposedly there's copper, there's well, heck, I got a list here. Sorry. You got copper, you've got lithium, you've got gold, iron, silver, and they've been mining that thing since May of 11. And now, don't get me wrong, there's been some other people that have invested in this as well. The Chinese have. But my whole point here is why were the troops pulled into Afghanistan? Really? Why? What is it for? Ask yourself those questions. Go back and read some of this stuff. It's just weird how this stuff falls in line. And then with that announcement today from Mrs. Clinton, that's why I didn't get to finish the J.P. Morgan stuff, because I heard that and I had to make some adjustments. But I mean, all this goes back to J.P. Morgan, Afghanistan, Hillary Clinton, mining operations. What's it about? What's it about? Seriously. And apparently, the Haqqani network has been causing such problems with the NATO passages, the NATO trails, the NATO supply line. Well, that's going to stop now too, apparently. It stopped again. I don't know if it started back up, if Pakistan allowed it, but they stopped it when Osama bin Laden was killed. They cut off the supply line. Well, apparently I think it's still cut off now. So, you got to sit there and think about it. Why are these things happening the way they are? Maybe I'm just crazy. I don't know. But hey, you know what? Thanks for your time. Do your own research, and thanks for watching.